Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com, joined by Mean Joe from Legend Hobby. What is happening, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, boss man? How you been?
I've been awesome. I've been trying to enjoy every last bit of the most beautiful weather before it gets a
Right.
little bit cooler and a little bit more rainy.
Right. I was actually able to complete a review airplane in what was that? That was October, right? The end of October. So we were able to get the flight footage and
Yes.
everything in the end of October. So, man, it's just been crazy. It's 60 degrees here today, and I'm in Michigan.
Wow.
Now
Okay.
it's raining and it's a little windy, but it's 60 degrees and it's what? It's a week and a half away for our listen,
Yes.
almost a week and a couple of days away from Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
Right. So I've been working on my 1976 Eldorado Cadillac convertible at the end of every day, trying to do anything I could do as long as I could. And so
Yeah.
I feel really and so today the goal is to I'm going to move the Cadillac over to this part of the garage and move the 64 Chevy into this part. So now that it's cooler, the 64 can get in and out whenever I want it. So that's
Right, right. Yeah, I saw you. I was speaking to you on, I believe it was Sunday. I was talking to you, and
yeah.
your list for Sunday was incredible. All the stuff you got done. It's awesome.
Yes.
If anybody has never seen Jim's Cadillac and his C10, you got to check them out. They're really cool.
We're completely going off, but there is a company called Caddy Daddy, and they make and sell repro parts, and they're featuring my 76 Eldo next month. Um,
Nice.
After a phone call, the lady was like, "Can you send me that story?" So that'll be cool. But let me tell
That's
everyone
sweet.
while we're here. We're here because Legend Hobby has a lot of stuff to talk about, and we thought we would take it all and put it in one big video and just get you up to date on what's happening with Mean Joe, the guy who knows what's happening.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. So first and foremost, probably our biggest announcement to put out there right now is we actually have taken over the importation and distribution of Stinger engines. So we're going to be the Stinger engine capital of the North America, I guess you'd say. So we're going to be carrying Stingers, and again, we're going to be the sole distributor and importer. And we actually, right now, we've got several engines on the way in. Our shipment is due in still yet this week. And what we don't have in stock will be in stock very shortly. And as you can see, as Jim flips through, we have Stinger engines for just about anything. One of the other things that we're going to be doing with this is we're also going to be carrying the Stinger accessories as well. So we're going to have some props and some other things. You can see you can get your muffler kits and ignition wires and all that stuff directly from Legend Hobby. Now, I will say, if there's any dealers out there looking, we have keeping the dealer information, or I should say, the dealer deal pricing. It's not going to change. So if you're looking to carry some Legend or to carry some Stinger engines, reach out to us and we will get you hooked up as a dealer as well. So
And just to tell everyone how I found that, I just went to the search bar at the top and typed in Stinger, and it took me right there.
yeah, with the new website, it's actually pretty intuitive. So you type in even just one word for your search, and it'll bring up everything related to that. The older website wasn't quite as smooth operating as that. So with the new website, it's much better.
Awesome.
Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, I noticed you were on the Stinger 125 Pro right there for a second.
Okay.
Uh, we had those of you that are in the hobby may know that Thomas White is actually redoing Mac Hodges B-29. He's in the
Oh,
midst of actually working on the B-29 to get it back in the air. And we are now the official engine sponsor working through Thomas White on his B-29 to be able to put those awesome engines in his B-29. So watch for that. Summer of 2025 is the goal. He's plugging away on it. It's getting there pretty quickly. So
it's really an
uh,
iconic bird, and I know we have people now that fly that weren't around back when Mac would take this to big shows across the country. But I've walked right next to it as it went out to the line, so that's pretty
oh
amazing.
yeah, there's a lot of videos of us out there, myself and you and Jason and everybody hanging around and shooting, watching Mac fly that thing like he stole it. So it was always a good show. There's actually a lot of video on rcgroups.com if you search it. There's a lot of video on Mac Hodges B-29, and he used to drop the rocket as well. and it was an
Right.
incredible show. It was always fun to watch that show because he would take it off like a scale B-29, and just chill and fly it all scale, and then like halfway into the show they drop the rocket, and then all of a sudden I hate to use the term 3D, but Mac would turn the B-29 into an aerobatic airplane, doing rolls and loops and knife edges and all that kind of stuff. So there's a ton of video out there on Mac's B-29. It's very cool.
Awesome.
So
So
yeah,
what kind of planes do we have coming in?
we've got a lot of stuff in the works right now. Not only the engines that are coming in, but currently right now in stock we have stuff like the P-47. We made sure that we had these in stock for the Christmas season. So we've got the P-47s in stock. We've got the Zeros. We've got the Hurricanes, ME-109s. Just about anything that could you'd want. There's the P-47 there, the Wicked Wabbit version.
Hey, speaking of this right here, I'm going to open up a new tab and go to Flying Giants and share with everyone in our forum section. At the tippy top, right here is Legend Hobby section. And we have an ongoing build happening right now.
Yes, sir. That's actually Phil Camp is doing one of the Legend Hobby B-17s.
And so he'll let me know when he's got something to say, and I'll open it up for him. And he'll go in here and share with you all of his build pieces. And you can go through what you need to know to do this yourself.
Yeah, Phil is actually doing a really good job on that build. And I was really excited to see him agree to doing the build thread on it. I've got one of those on my list, but I'm still trying to catch up. But he's got his now and is working on it. He fiberglassed it, and I think he's working on a scheme right now for it, and it's going to be very cool. Phil's one of our team pilots, and he does a fantastic job going to events and getting out there and promoting the hobby.
Be honest with me here. What?
Of course.
I mean, I've built airplanes, I've stick built some airplanes, but I've never done anything like this. Is this like, I mean, I'm sure jets are pretty tricky, but is this like high level capability to put together a bird like this?
Well, I wouldn't say it was high level. I would say there's a lot of pieces. And if you've
Right.
never done anything like this before, it's a builder's art, is what I'd like to say. It's got a lot
Okay.
of things that you're going to have to complete. And if you decide to go the route that Phil went and going ahead and fiberglass it, of course, that adds work. We have that actually available and almost ready to cover. And we also have it available already covered as well. So you can get it like you see there in the silver. You can get that airframe, and then all you got to do is put it together like you would a typical ARF. Phil's going a little bit extra mileage on that and going ahead and putting in. He's going to fiberglass it and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So this is the silver ARF.
Yeah. So we have coming in early 25. We've got let's see. We've got more olive drabs coming. We've got some more. What do I say? The silver. It's got bomb base, all three turrets are servo operated, comes with the 3D printed radial engine covers, scale cockpit. It's one of our little more expensive airframes, if I'm being honest, but the detail and the stuff that you get with this airframe make it well worth it. If you're looking for a bomber style airplane, this is definitely the way to go. We are actually having Sierra gear. Sierra's doing a gear for us, and they're going to drop into the same slots where the robot gear would have before. They've designed it so it fits the same footprint. So
Got it.
Yeah, and then on the B-17 note, don't forget in September 18th through 20th of 2025 is going to be the B-27 B-17, the
Yes.
37th edition of the B-17th gathering, which is going to be sweet. That's going to be at a bomber field. So make plans now. Last year we had 137 registered pilots. We had people from New York, Florida, California, Nebraska, all over the country come in for the B-17 gathering.
Well, this
Very
is
cool
nice
airplane.
video.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is an excellent aircraft.
All right. We could spend the whole show just looking at this thing.
Yes, sir. It's amazing. That actually has, let me think about it. That's 125-inch wingspan on that. That's actually at Bomber Field right there. I can't remember for sure, but I think we had 6 or 7 of those this year at Bomber Field. So there was quite a few there.
I'm sure I've said this to you, but I was raised near Perrin Air Force Base, which was active until the mid 60s, I think is when they shut it down, maybe the late 60s. But I am old enough to have seen nothing like this fly, but I've seen military aircraft and test craft fly over our farm. I think that's why I'm into RC, because as a small kid, I would see these things flying over our pasture. And I just can't imagine seeing that fly over your head.
Right. I've always wanted to get into, that's actually one of the things I'm working on my shop. I'm building a time machine, and I want to go travel back in time, and I want to go to see like D-Day. I want to see, not necessarily being on the beach to watch all the
Sure.
carnage, but just see
Yes.
them going and see that many aircraft in the air
Headed out.
flying in formation. I want to see that. I've always been a huge fan of that. I think it's awesome. And I happen to know that the stuff that you see on video and TV and all these other things just does not, it can't possibly do that any justice at all.
Right.
With all those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of airplanes flying into battle. That's amazing.
That is hard to wrap your head around.
It is amazing. You go back and look at some of those old footage videos of that stuff, and I think that for me, me is we've known each other for a long time. I'm a huge crackhead for aviation stuff. I'm just like, I love it. So that stuff for me is like the pinnacle of aviation for this country, is when during the World War II era.
Right.
So because we really were doing it back then. It's crazy. And I'm only probably about 45 minutes from Ypsilanti, where Willow Run factory is, where they did the B-29s. So that's right down the road. They had a museum. Actually, they just sold their I can't remember which one they sold. They sold their big hitter, not Hairless Joe, because that's a C-47, but I can't think of the other one. They just sold their big airplane, their B-29, to another place.
Got it.
So interesting. I love that stuff.
Now, as a sidebar, I see that you guys brought some tents out recently for
Yes,
public
sir. Yeah,
consumption.
we're doing the Legend Hobby canopies. Now these aren't typical, basic pop-up canopies. These are heavy-duty canopies with square supports and very heavy-duty type canopies. These are going to be good for just about anything, really. You can get the walls, you can get the half walls. They are in 10 by 10s, and they are heavy duty. These canopies are no joke. They're not the typical throwaway canopies you get from like Harbor Freight or something like that. These are heavy duties and should last you quite a long time. And those, I believe, are 10 by 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Definitely a must-have if you're a warbird, going to lots of shows and sitting out in the sun.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, what else? Oh man, that is hot.
And I misspoke. It was the B-24s, not the B-25s.
Gotcha.
The B-24 Liberators.
$22. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, for the cups.
I'm sorry, everyone. I know we're here for RC, but there we go. But I love the small stuff you can get for just a little bit of money. That is awesome.
Yeah, one of the things to remember about Legend Hobby, anybody that's ever purchased an airplane from Legend Hobby is going to be super surprised by the swag that comes in the box.
Oh,
we oftentimes include, our pens. We got our Legend Hobby pens. We got our Legend Hobby. We don't often send out cups, but we have our pens. We have our what else do we have? We have our knives. Tomas will throw in some shirts, some hats, that kind of stuff. These pens are the bomb, by the way. If you're into pens, these things are cool. It's actually a pen. It's a ruler. It's a level.
wow.
It's a stylus. And it's also a screwdriver. So in the end, it's got a screwdriver. So it's got a Phillips head and a
Dang, man,
standard
that
large
is
screwdriver.
cool.
Yeah. So nerd
You know
stuff.
what?
Nerd stuff is awesome.
You said it was the bomb. What might be cool is a pen that looks like a bomb, a World
Yeah.
War II bomb. That'd be pretty cool. It would actually be
Yeah.
the bomb.
That would be the bomb.
That's what I'm here for. I'm an idea
That
man.
exactly. That's right. That's awesome. So yeah, and outside of that, we've got a ton of other stuff coming. So we've got right now in stock, ready for Christmas. We've got the P-47s, the Zeros, the Hurricanes, the ME-109s, the P-51s, Ag Wagons, RV-8s, B-25s. We also have the L-19. The L-19 comes in 3 sizes, so you can get the size that you want. We go from 98.5 inches all the way up to 156-inch bird dogs. So if you're into the L-19s, we have a size that will suit your fancy for sure.
You put rockets on the wing of a plane, and it's 20 times cooler, I think.
Right. I'm actually, I've got one of those on my list. When I get all my other stuff in my shop caught up from being down, I'm going to do it up nice. I'm actually going to see if I can try to figure out a way. Obviously, we can't shoot projectiles off of our RC airplanes legally, but I'm going to try to figure out a way to make those do smoke or something. So,
Cool,
just for
cool.
fun, something different. Now I see as you're scrolling, one of the things to keep in mind, we just had a big question about this the other day. Those are 11 3D printed Legend Hobby bomb, which are pretty cool. But we offer all of the Seagull models. So any of the Seagull models that you have an interest in, you can get those in almost ready to cover versions. So a lot of people, they don't like the particular scheme that we picked. And if you've got your eyes on a scheme that you don't see, but you like the airplane, make sure that when you order it, you put it on there that you want to do the almost ready to cover version, and we can special order the almost ready to cover version for you.
Wow, it's really remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah. They've done a really good job. Duyan over at Seagull has done a really good job of working with us over the years. I know there's a lot of question out there from before where people were questioning like the quality and all that kind of stuff. But I will tell you, Tomas at Legend Hobby has done an amazing job of working with the factory to dial in the important stuff. You know, like there's things that for their while, you know, Seagull Models was synonymous with having issues here and there, but we've done everything we can with working with her directly to correct those issues, and she's actually been really open to help us. That's the new P-47 bubble top. That's actually due in. I think we are getting some of those in the December, and if we're not getting them in the December container, we got a container coming in late December, and if that's not in the December container, it's in the spring container, and I think those are coming in the December container as well.
Single seat fighter planes versus 2-seaters. Do people like one more than the other?
You know, I think it's the uniqueness of it. You know how people in the hobby like to be. They like to go out to the field and think they have something that nobody else has.
Right.
And
Not be the
I think the
third.
single
Yeah.
seats are going to be, I think the single seats are going to be very popular because not a lot of people have the bubble top version.
Right. It just sounds good.
Yeah. Just something different. Always. I usually gravitate towards the stuff that's a little different. And that would be one that I would gravitate to for sure. And they also redid the Tar Heel Howl version in the bubble top as well.
That thing is hot.
Yeah, very cool,
as the kids would say.
Yeah, so they're really doing a great job of offering many aircraft of many different schemes types. So if you don't see something you like, first of all, ask, and second of all, just wait because they're coming out with new schemes constantly. A lot of that's coming from feedback from our customers and us back to the manufacturer to make sure they understand, hey, let's offer this color, let's offer that color, let's do this, let's do that. And then that's why I think we kind of got down to the road and got to the point where we were offering the uncovered versions as well, because then you can get them however you want and do however you want with them.
You know, we both date back to when you could go to a trade show and see an airplane and buy an airplane, and people will lament on the good old days of everything from whatever to whatever. But really, has there been any more of a choice in the Warbird world as there is now. I mean, you could build something and make it any way you want, but stuff like this, I mean, I just don't think it existed.
Honestly, I back in Toledo days, there were a few warbirds smothered out there. And to Jim's point, you could have always built something. You could get a kit, actually build it like a Zeroli or whatever, and build those. I believe now is the pinnacle of the availability for warbird style, classic style airplanes in the ARF world, because there are just a ton of airplanes out there. And there's so much stuff coming out on a regular basis. My head gets to swimming on certain days because we have so many things coming in. The list is long yet distinguished. It's crazy how many airframes we've got coming.
And you keep saying this is on my list, but if you simply had a list of Legend hobby planes, that list would still be like almost impossible to achieve unless it was a full-time job of building their birds.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish it was a full-time job at this point. And it's getting close. It's almost there. We've got a little ways to go, but we're getting close to the full-time job thing. So,
well, we both know every plane needs lots of great photos and a great flight video. You know,
sure,
to do that, you have to have the plane.
And people don't understand that. So people don't really get what we do. You know, I've done reviews for years and I've been doing the airplane thing for quite a long time. There's a lot involved for, I should say, media around an airplane build. You've got to get excellent pictures. You got to have high res pictures of every step along the way. I've kind of steered away from the unboxing videos. I feel like some cases that gets kind of dry.
Yes.
There are a lot out there and there's a lot of cool stuff to see, but I personally feel like once you've seen an unboxing video, unless it's really something unique, it's still just a box with an airplane in it, right? But the pictures, and then like you said, the flight videos and the assembly videos and programming and all that stuff, and you have to get good high quality images and videos or nobody's going to pay attention to it. That's the problem. So, and it's a lot of work, as you know.
So, and people will say, man, you get that for free, but to build something and do a review, I'd say it's 4 times longer than it normally would take. That's not even the right equation. It takes so much more time to really be like, I got to get a shot of this and I'm going to move this in here. And then after that, you have to assemble it all. And I'm sure people are like, woe is you reviewing airplanes, but it's a job. You're certainly paying for that plane times 2 or 3 to do a real review.
It's a job. There's a lot. And I'd say you're pretty close. You're probably at least half again as much time, 2-3 times as much time to do a review versus just taking it and slapping it together and going to fly. There's a lot to it. So
when I worked on the Cadillac, I was like, the alternator would be a good video, the power steering pump would be a good video, and I'm like, yeah, but I need to get this done. I don't have time. So
yeah, and I'm dealing with that now. I'm still getting my shop caught up, and I'm doing as I do it. We just launched a new 2-minute tech talk that we're going to be putting videos out on for that.
All right,
and you know, the trend. I'm doing the vertical videos. I'm doing the 2-minute tech talks to post on all the medias, and just that alone. Every time I touch the airplane, that'd be a good tip. Oh, yes, that'd be a good tip.
Everything.
And it snowballs.
Well, let me say this. I'm talking to cars over here, but Jason and I were just at the field. We shot a video together on the Promoto MX. It's just something that we both own, and we've thrashed them around long enough that I was like, let's go out. And another thing, now I'm totally shifting gears, but my point is Jason and I are out there doing stuff. So I've got a couple of reviews I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I want one of those Moto X's bad, man. I've been eyeballing that thing. We go up to the campground a lot during the summertime, and that thing is just, I haven't seen one up there yet, and I need to get one. I'll probably have one before next spring for sure.
It's as cool as you think. One thing I did is I got in the caddy, so we'll bring it back around, and I threw the motorcycle in there, and then I would drive around, and I would get people to drive the Promoto.
Nice.
And initially they were like, oh, I can't drive that. Like some skill might be needed. And then after they drove it, they'd be like, oh, this thing is easy. And so
that thing, to get really off track, that thing has got crazy. There are companies that are offering mods for that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can take it and make it anything you want.
A street bike has got to be coming. But I don't want to jump off a legend. We'll talk about this later. Right. When we're not in the legend.
You know what? This is the thing. Anybody that's ever been around us, when we're talking, this is how it all goes. It just goes left and right and back and forth. So perfectly normal.
The hobby is the hobby.
The hobby is the hobby. So we're looking at a end of December restock on anything. So if you're looking to try to find something that we had in stock but is now sold out, the container's on the water and is due in here in a few weeks, and we're looking at the end of December. Some of the really cool stuff we've got coming in this, I believe, I know for sure the giant thunder stick is on the website. So early 2025, if you just put in thunder stick, there it is right there at the top.
Ooh.
So this is going to be a fairly popular airplane. We've already got lots of pre-orders on this one. So if you're interested in a 96.5 inch thunder stick, you're going to want to do your pre-orders now so you can get in on the first container of these. These are early 2025 arrivals, and this is going to be a very popular airplane.
I bet that thing just crawls.
Oh, I bet it does. Yeah. I'm excited to get my hands on one. Yeah, it should be very, very cool.
It's my favorite colors, so we got that going for us.
Yes, yes. And 90 is huge for a stick.
96.5.
Yeah. And they're talking 60 to 65 cc's.
Beautiful.
Very, very cool. Yeah, it's going to be neat. And then that same
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You remember?
I was going to say, it blows me away how much Thomas gets done.
Oh gosh,
just so much.
Yeah. Well, we both still have full-time jobs.
Right. I know.
So we still both work. So we're a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings. It's just how it is. And if you guys have never met Tomas, not because I'm wearing the shirt. This was way before I was involved. Tomas is one of the greats in the hobby. So, he is the guy that's going to stand up regardless of whatever it is you've got going on, and he's going to support you as a hobbyist. So if you have an issue with something, he's the guy that goes into the warehouse, opens up a box, grabs the parts you need, and ships them to you. He's just that guy. And you don't get that a lot in the hobby, especially when you start talking distributors. They don't want to be bothered with your problems. A lot of distributors tend to go, oh, that's a manufacturer issue. Let's send it off to the manufacturers. You will not get that with us. I guarantee it. Between myself and Tomas, you will get the parts you need, even if we have to go open a box, because that's how we do. We go up, we open the box, and we order the replacement parts to put back in our box on the next shipment, so you can get your stuff quickly. So if you've never got anything from Legend Hobby, if you never worked with Tomas and anything, I'm telling you, he's one of the good ones. So, check us out for sure. Couple of the other new things we've got coming, and actually in the same container, and I don't believe we have ones on the website for this yet. We are doing an 81 Cessna 310. That's coming. So we've got a 310 coming, 81 inch. That's going to be early 2025. And we also right now are currently in Texas. One of our team pilots is building the 89 inch Legend Hobby P51 B/C. And it's going to be fully sheeted, 3-piece wing. It's going to have the radiator is going to be operational with servo, scale gear from Sierra. It's going to be an amazing airplane. I've been watching the build pictures, and it's going to that airplane's going to be amazing. Again, that's an 89 inch P51. So, and then we've got stuff like let me see, we've got a 95 inch Havoc bomber coming. Let's see what else I've got on my list. We've got a lot of stuff here. 95 inch A20 Havoc, early late summer, early fall 2025. That's going to be a fully sheeted with a 2-piece wing, landing gear and wheels by JP Hobbies. There's just a ton of stuff coming, and much, much more. The list that I have for what's coming is ridiculous. So just there's no way we can cover it all. There's so much coming. So
I would tell you to, as a viewer and Warbird person, to be sure and check out Legend Hobby every morning when you're drinking coffee to see what's there. Keep an eye on Flying Giants and RC Groups, because we'll definitely be featuring things like this video. And Tomas will also ping me and say, hey, here's something you should know about. And so I'll get it out that way. But just keep your eyes open so you don't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure we didn't go over everything, but we've rounded it up a pretty good amount.
I think we rounded it up pretty good, my friend.
Well, man, Mean Joe, it's always great to sit down and talk to you and find out what's happening.
Absolutely, anytime.
And I want to thank all of y'all out there that join us on our YouTube channel and watch our videos. Be sure and share and like and do all the things so we can propel the hobby forward to not only us, but the people to be flying these things in the next 20, 30 years. All right, Mean Joe, we will see you on the next one.
All right, my friend. Take care. Have a good day.
LegendHobby.com, JimTGramRCGroups.com. We're out.